check.
Welcome back for episode 248 of the Ross Bolen Podcast, otherwise known as RBP 248, presented by Bolen Media. I am, of course, your host, Ross Bolen, here today with co-host producer extraordinaire, again, Mr. Mike Moody. Mike, what's up?
How are you, sir?
I'm recovering, like sleep-wise.
You're recovering. I'm recovering.
You're recovering from sickness,
Yeah.
from illness. I'm
Right.
recovering from a lack of sleep.
Ah.
As a result of, you know how I shared that my two dogs, Bruce and Bella, they're toy Australian Shepherds that are combined like 20 pounds together.
Yeah.
I shared that they believe they are squirrels.
That's true. I remember that.
You know, as
Yeah.
a result of watching the thriving squirrel community in my backyard doing their business all day, my dogs have picked up on all the squirrel lifestyle moves. They're burying nuts, acorns. They're digging up acorns. They're eating anything they can find. It is absolute chaos in my backyard. And it's funny, when the dogs went to Dallas for Thanksgiving for a few days, the squirrel community in the backyard, in their absence, began to thrive even more hardcore, to the point that, like, by the time the dogs got back, the whole backyard is covered in nuts. And, like, I'm not exaggerating. I know that sounds stupid. Every square inch in chewed up bits of acorn and full acorn and acorn shells, every type of acorn possible, everywhere. So the point is this: if you're wondering why we got our first episode this week on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, at about 5 in the morning, early Monday morning, all right? So Sunday night into Monday morning, my dogs woke me up for what would be quite an experience, Bruce and Bella. They wake me up. It's like 5 in the morning, all right? It's, I have no idea why they woke me up at this time. They've been letting me sleep in later. They've been letting me go like until 7:30, sometimes even 9 o'clock before I have to take them out and feed them, which is the goal. For anybody who has dogs or kids, you know, it's like you want to train them so that you can get as much sleep as possible, because at first, especially when they're puppies, you work entirely on their schedule, right? There's nothing you can do, or when they're babies. But I only have the canine version of this to be familiar with. So they wake me up at 5 in the morning. I'm barely awake. I stumble into the backyard with the dogs, right? Like half awake. Immediately, they take off in different directions. And this is common, but typically in the very early morning like this, they're not so rowdy. So but this is common when I take them out during the day. There's squirrels everywhere, and they're gone. And I take them out. One goes one way, one goes the other. And I'm just like, oh, great. Something is up. Well, it turns out it's super fucking windy, okay? Change is coming. The winter is here, and the wind is blowing with it.
Winter is here.
Yeah, it opened all of the gates. All of them. Not just the left gate. Not just the right gate in my backyard. Both back gates are wide open, but also we have a front yard fenced in. Like, this is a very Austin, Texas thing. We have these little front yard fences, like 4 feet tall or some shit. Mm-hmm. And the front gate was open too. So I run around the left side of the house, and Bruce is bolting. He's gone. And I see him. He's standing in my neighbor's yard, frozen. Like, oh shit, I made it. Now what? And he just stood there and let me come pick him up. And I'm like, you stupid bastard. It's cold. It's the middle of the goddamn night for me. This is the middle of the night. I've been asleep maybe 3 hours at this point. Maybe.
Are you out there in boxers or with a robe? What do you have?
Boxer shorts and a long sleeve t-shirt. Okay. Robe is usually in a place where I can grab it on the way out. On this particular morning, I had not set myself up for that type of success. So I grab Bruce and I head back into the backyard. Bella's nowhere to be seen. I'm like, great. She's the girl, the smaller one, the most squirrel-like of the two, if you will. She's nowhere to be fucking seen. So I run around through the back to the other side of the backyard, and she's on that other side of the house. And she's like between the areas where we keep like our trash can and our recycling bin and the one that's for like flora and fauna.
Mm-hmm.
Flora and fauna means plants, right?
Fauna means like
animals.
Okay,
so
let's
you
put
just
your
stick
dead
with the
animals
flora.
in there.
I don't keep my dead animals in
No?
this particular can.
Okay.
That's a different one.
Right.
I actually have a neighbor. We share our dead animal can.
Got it.
And we fill it with all. We don't. She's over there, and she's between, and she's eating something. Okay, and the squirrel thing ties in here. She eats shit all day, every day, everything she can find on the ground. All right, acorns, leaves, and here's the thing: Bruce does it too, but he chews it up and spits it out because he knows he's not a herbivore. Herbivore? He knows that's not his food.
It's not meat.
Bella, however, she eats it, eats everything. She swallows it, and she's legitimately grubbing on fucking dirt and acorns all of the time. So I run around the other side of the house, 5 a.m. She's got something in her mouth. She's eating. I don't know what exactly it is. I don't have my contacts in or my glasses on, but the result is this. The small dog is stoned, out of her mind for about 12 hours, in which I had to cradle her, hand feed her ass, and let her piss all over me.
Oh, man.
It was absolutely brutal.
You're a good dad.
I'm a good dad and a trash dad at the same time because she never would have got this shit in the first place if I didn't smoke. But that being said, I had been under, like, this is not the first time this little girl has done this. She has a weed problem. She's like a bloodhound for the shit. I have had to change my whole routine and way of smoking multiple times, my location, my methods, multiple times to try to protect this furry little stoner, and she keeps finding a way. It's unbelievable, truly infuriating. And in this case, like, first of all, let me say she's all back to normal now. Bella is completely fine. It probably changed her whole perspective on shit. It wouldn't surprise me to see her trying to, like, team up with the squirrels now and build a peaceful symbiotic relationship somehow. Maybe, like, they start their own little society where everyone contributes. Like, one squirrel is a baker and one is a mailman. Maybe one is a policeman. Bella probably ends up in charge of acorn rationing or some shit. Who knows? But she's fine. Okay, now. But she was a mess for 12 fucking hours. I don't know what she got a hold of. I don't know if it... My guess is it was a bit of the tar shit that you clean out of a bong that I had somehow not gotten when I did my sweep like a month and a half ago. Because I cleaned every remnant out of this damn yard, and she still found a way. And if you've never dealt with a stoned dog, holy shit, imagine if it was a stoned dog that weighed 10 pounds. Her tolerance is too low for this noise. She was high for much longer than I anticipated. It was hell. Anyway, I lost a bunch of sleep as a result. I will say it was funny, too, though. Because she's already hilarious.
What was she doing besides getting sick?
So once, at the beginning, it was just getting sick, and I was like, this is brutal. And I was extremely worried about how she was. And, like, obviously, having dealt with this before and knowing my dogs well enough, I knew she was okay, and I didn't need to take her to the hospital or anything like that. It was just a matter of having to sit with her and wait it out, right? Like, this was a timing thing. If you've ever, as a human, if you've ever taken, like, too many edibles, there is nothing you can do. It's time. You are now going to wait until your brain has processed all that THC out of there. And so she was mostly at first just sick and laying there, and it was shitty and awful, and I was scared and, like, emotional at one point even. But then she started, as she was, like, becoming more and more with it, it's like watching, you know your dogs well. You spend all day, every day with your dogs. When one of them's high, they do stuff differently. And it's like, so like the way she would enter her bed, instead of just like walking over to the dog bed, she would like, you could tell she'd made the conscious decision, like she was going to go that direction, but she kind of had to gear her body and energy up in that direction. And so everything was a little more jolty. Like she'd be still and then she'd just go, yeah, and like be on the way to the bed. And then instead of just walking into it, it would be like a little like antelope leap, like, yeah. And everything was just animated and fucking hilarious for like the last few hours. But the first 8 or so, I could have done without, frankly. It's not the way you want to start your week.
No.
Especially in the stressful month of December. But it happened. We're here now. The dog is fine. I gave her about a 30-minute talk about why we don't eat things that are not farmer's dog that I put into her goddamn bowl. And hopefully the lesson sticks this time. I don't know what... I can't keep a close enough eye on this little monster. She's unbelievable. For the record, I love my dogs more than anything in the world. And you look... I know a lot of people who smoke weed think it's funny to like get their pet stoned with them, like blow smoke in their nose or whatever. Mm-hmm. Don't do that, ass. Don't do that. These drugs are not for these dogs, and that shit's toxic to them. It's not the same as a human ingesting marijuana or THC or CBD. It's not the same. Well, the CBD part's different, and they have like
dog CBD,
a ton of dog CBD now. In fact, let me think of how I can tell this in the least incriminating way possible. A person I know, allegedly, who sells marijuana and cannabis products in the greater Austin area, he provides CBD dog treats now. Illegally.
Nice.
But, illegally technically.
Right.
But
well, that,
anyway,
that piece of it maybe is not
Right,
illegal.
right.
since
It's just
CBD is legal.
it's just weird to have, like, your weed dealer be like, and also,
Yeah.
would you like some treats for your dog? I don't, maybe?
Also, welcome to 2019.
Yeah, no,
it's
seriously.
weird now.
It is, everything is just, it's just too much. But don't get your dogs or your pets high. That's not cool. I just remember, like, in high school, we used to think that was funny, and I'd, like, watch my friend get his cat high. And now, like, looking back, like, that cat could not have enjoyed that. Because it's a cat. And, like, there's now, you imagine being a cat. It's already hell. You're just looking around at the humans like, you people fucking disgust me. Now you're stoned, and there's, like, 4 of them way too close to you, all laughing as loud as they can right in your face. That's how you get your eyes gouged out by
I was
a
going to
cat.
say, it's and scratch your face off.
Yeah, man, don't get
Yeah.
your cat high. What's wrong with you, you silly motherfucker? RBP 248 is brought to you by Leesa, makers of the most comfortable mattresses in the entire universe. Your mattress, probably the most important purchase you're ever going to make for your place. Doesn't matter if you're in a studio apartment or you have a big 4-bedroom house with 2 kids running around or some shit. Having a fantastic bed for your body and mind to rest every night is paramount. And Leesa knows how important rest is to a better life. Leesa is the foundation of a healthier, happier you. And to Leesa, a bed is more than just a place to sleep. It's a place for relaxation and rest. All of their products at Leesa have been thoughtfully designed to go beyond creating a comfortable bed to transform your bedroom into a sanctuary you actually want to spend time in. Their most advanced luxury hybrid mattress is the one that I've slept on for years now, made with premium foams and springs for enhanced pressure relief with edge-to-edge support. As I say and have said and will continue to say over and over again, it is the most comfortable bed I have ever laid eyes or body on. Thoughtfully designed with the best of both worlds, Leesa believes all people should have access to deep rest and relaxation, and as such, they make it easier for their customers to know they've made the right choice through their social impact initiatives tied to each purchase. They donate 1 mattress for every 10 they sell at Leesa through organizations that work in causes like foster care prevention. To date, having donated more than 33,000 mattresses through more than 1,000 nonprofits. Leesa mattresses are made in the USA. In-home delivery and setup is available. Financing is also available. Do not miss out, RBP gang. If you've gone all of 2019 and you still haven't pulled the trigger on a new bed, the time is now. Get 15% off. Order today. Any mattress, 15% off for a limited time at Leesa.com/RBP. Use the promo code RBP. That's LEESA.com/RBP. Promo code RBP. And keep in mind, you also do get a 100-night risk-free trial plus free shipping and returns. If you're new to our show, the Ross Bolen Podcast, almost every episode is broken down into segments, which you can find below with time cues in the description. Now, some episodes may have a special guest or a special topic and be an exception to that rule. Be less segmented, but typically the idea is we segment the shows and timestamp all the different topics so you can consume at your own pace based on your work or school or whatever schedule rules your life. You do not have to have listened to a single one of the preceding 247 episodes in order to enjoy RBP 248, but if you like today's show, go back, get caught up. 247 backlogged episodes for you to soak in while you travel this holiday season, while you're bored at work or at school or at home or what have you into 2020. Get caught up. Some announcements quickly. I got a DM from a new listener named Ryan who said, I'll just read you it. Well, I just started listening to your podcast yesterday at work because someone hacked my Instagram and followed your account. Probably the best hacker ever. I just want to say, this is how you fulfill your legal obligations. This is how you put in work to grow the gang. Unbelievable effort. Shouts to all the hackers in the squad. I appreciate y'all. Keep me safe. And welcome to Fuck Mountain Ryan. Can you imagine if somebody hacked your Instagram and when you got back in, it had followed like just a few of their favorite accounts? And then you liked one, and one of them you were like, you know what, this show's kind of tight.
And thank you, hacker.
And it was RBP.
Yeah.
You got hacked bad, but the hacker gave you a gift. Good.
That's what they call a white hat hacker. A hacker who does good.
Is this a term you learned from Mr. Robot?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. It's actually my former co-host of the Mr. Robot podcast.
Yeah.
Is a hacker.
No shit.
Calls himself Ghost.
Okay.
And he's pretty... I'm afraid of him, is all I can say.
What are the chances this was Ghost? Slim?
9 out of 10.
Respect to Ghost.
Yeah.
I feel like if there was one thing I was going to pick, like a skill set that I don't have, that I would just be like, you know, a realistic one that I could do stuff with. I feel like hacking is a great one. Because it's not just that you know how to hack. You have to have an insane knowledge of computers, technology, code, and all that.
You got to be a coder. You got to know how to social engineer as well.
It's fucking crazy.
Ghost is rich.
He is.
Yeah.
Man, must be nice. Good for Ghost, though.
Yeah.
And he gets to be called Ghost.
Yeah, with a 0 as O.
Gamers and hackers have that shit down.
Yeah.
Pat, made. They figured it out. They were like, fuck this normal name nonsense. We're going to put zeros and symbols and money signs and all kinds of crazy shit. Fuck the last names. I'm just going by Ghost with a 0 and perhaps even a Z in there somewhere. Like sometimes the letters will have like weird crosses and symbols in them that you didn't even know were part of the language possibilities because it's like a fucking German letter or something. Shit's nuts. Anyway, shouts to Ryan. Happy to have you. And even bigger shouts to Ghost, the hacker who brought him here. Full video of this episode, by the way, will be available to all who support the show on Patreon with pledges this December. Patreon is just a place where we can bring you more RBP ad-free directly to you, the listener, with no third-party involvement whatsoever. The way it works is you pledge an amount of money, $5 minimum, to join the RBP gang officially and support the show throughout the month of December. And in exchange, you get 2 ad-free additional exclusive episodes of this show. One is a Hotline Call Extravaganza, which will be available in the coming hours for the month of December. And one is a special guest episode each month. In addition to that, though, you get full video of every episode where full video is available. I believe there's like 17 full video episodes on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast at this point. So if you're one of the many people out there who has begged for video all the last couple years, we have it now, and it's in one place, patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. You could literally be watching me speak instead of just listening to me speak. An added element, another sense. Take advantage. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. By the way, that's all Patreon. That's what it's all about. It's just a way for you, the RBP gang, our listenership, to support the show, the movement, and get extra content in return. $5, as I say, is nothing. It's a sandwich. A goddamn sandwich.
It's soup. Not even a sandwich.
Okay, let's say it's soup today. It's soup. And you can get another cup of soup. But that soup is never going to get you 2 additional ad-free episodes of RBP and all this piping hot content. Although piping hot soup on today, considering.
It sounds good. It's a good day for soup. It's nice and cold.
It's also just I haven't eaten.
Oh.
Favorite soup, Mike, go. No thinking.
Oh, potato. Loaded potato soup.
I want
to
yell out.
Potato.
I almost went clam chowder, but it's not even my favorite. It's just like the one that popped into my head. I'm a chicken noodle soup guy.
Okay.
Weirdly, I will either okay, so this is strange.
Yeah.
Tomato soup is either absolutely not, I'm disgusted by it, or it's up above chicken noodle even.
Okay. Tomato soup tastes really good, though.
It's totally dependent on my mood.
Okay.
There's just something about it's because it's real, it's like it's rich.
Yeah, it can be creamy and milky.
Rich and creamy, yeah, it's a totally different type of feel. I either want the watery chicken noodle or I want the tomato, but if I'm not in the mood for the tomato, I despise it, which is weird. Also, I used to never... You know how when you're a kid, there's like shit you won't eat?
Oh, yeah.
Onions for me was one of them.
Yeah.
Hated onions, wanted nothing to do, unless they were onion rings. Fry anything, I'll fucking eat it. Onion rings are fried, right? Yeah, sure they are. But tomatoes was another one for me. I wouldn't eat tomatoes. And now I love tomatoes and onions on like burgers and in shit. But also, I don't understand like eating it. I saw, I don't know if it was a meme or a video. Somebody was eating a tomato raw the other day, and I was like, what the fuck is this world coming to? This is bizarre. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. Also, we're on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Pod. This is not an edit. You didn't just get skipped. I just broke off from whatever thought was happening there, and I'm continuing back on the path that I'm supposed to be on to do this show.
Yeah, it's not a bad edit that I did.
No, this is not Mike. This is just me. On occasion, if you're like, wait, weren't we? And I just break, it's just me. It's just my brain. Follow us on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast. Every day we fill up our story with photos and videos sent in by our listeners, which I collect mostly through Snapchat, ironically enough. At WR Bolen is my Snapchat, at WRBOLEN. People send in all these incredible photos of like horrible vanity license plates, stealing thousands of napkins and huge grabs of napkins from Chipotle, swaths of napkins, if you will. Sometimes even the entire canister gets taken. Swaths. Tabasco bottles from Chipotle. What else we get, though? We get like incredible photos of dogs getting soft for the weekend. Go look at it right now. I filled it up last night at the Ross Bolen Podcast.
My favorite is license plates.
The license plates are
the trash license plates.
Especially because we've gotten to a point where we get hundreds and hundreds of license plate submissions a day.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm able to sort of pick the best ones, and instead of just the more generic, like it used to be, we'd just put up any old vanity plate.
Right.
Now it's like the best of the best, and it's at a whole nother level. You don't realize how many of these people are out there rocking just embarrassingly bad vanity plates on their vehicles.
Too many.
It's far, far too big a percentage of our citizenship. It's absolutely unacceptable. We're on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod, and we're also on Facebook if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners. I have two amends to make. First, President Abraham Lincoln did not enjoy retirement. And second, we've been saying the population of China is 1.386 billion. It's actually 1,427,647,786 as of 2018 data provided by Wikipedia. Now that we've gotten that all straightened out, first segment, Fitbit rats out NFL reporter's boyfriend.
The tech, bro.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, so this has been out a few days now, and I've been just fucking, what is it? Foaming at the mouth, salivating to discuss it. As is tradition, around December every year, usually it's about like halfway, it's around Thanksgiving, November, really. Peloton, the bike company, the indoor cycling company.
Peloton.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much fun I'm allowed to make of them because they've almost sponsored the show at one point. But fuck it. Every time of year, Peloton goes out on their big marketing campaign, which is mostly aimed at yuppies. And that's not a knock. It's just the facts.
It's for the whites.
Poor people don't buy indoor exercise bikes.
That cost upwards
Thousands of dollars.
$3,000.
They don't purchase these things for the most part. This is more well-off yuppie folks. In fact, no, I'll say it's an exclusively marketed to yuppies product. Every commercial of this goddamn company makes is incredible because it's like a 40, it's more realistically, some of the commercials is probably a $4 million home.
Yeah.
Ish. With a Peloton bike in some absurdly large window overlooking like the fucking rainforest that this house is built over.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, nobody lives like this. This is fucking nuts.
Have you seen the latest commercial?
This
is like
the one that
Black Mirror ad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's the one that had people like really talking on Twitter. I believe that very ad you just brought up is the one that had the internet sort of freaking out about Peloton again. Well, somehow in the Twitter world of Peloton parody, though, this NFL reporter chimes in. Okay, Jenny Slater, I believe her name is. Slater is her last name for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure.
AC Slater?
For sure.
Christian Slater.
Yeah, no, neither of them. But Slater chimes in. Now calling her Slater feels awesome. Dude, that's such a good last name.
Yo, Preppy.
Slater chimes in, piggybacking off of this already conversation that's taken place about Peloton. And she says that an ex-boyfriend, here's her tweet, an ex-boyfriend once got me a Fitbit for Christmas. I loved it. We synced up, motivated each other, didn't hate it until he was unaccounted for at 4 a.m., and his physical activity levels were spiking on the app.
Oh.
So you know what Fitbit is, right?
Yes.
It's like it's
measures your heart rate.
Yeah, it keeps your steps, measures your heart rate, does all these fucking things. If you have an Apple Watch, you probably use it for those purposes or whatever. But like people
allows the government to track you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, and people love these things. It makes them feel good about themselves and their movements and people love to count their fucking steps. You step counters you're something else, but you're out there and you're doing it, and I respect that. I don't take many steps, so I don't want this machine to tell me how many I didn't take each day. But this chick had one, right? Her boyfriend, her boyfriend of the time, buys her a Fitbit. They're probably sitting under the tree or like, maybe it's later for brunch or something. They meet after they do Christmas with their families. And they're laughing, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. 2019, we're going to get in such shape together. And they sync their Fitbits up like, this will keep us accountable. I'll run and you'll run and do crunches and we'll do crunches and we'll both have good bodies. And then it's 4 a.m. First of all, I got a lot of questions here. It's 4 a.m. You're checking your Fitbit app. Okay, so maybe it's not that. Maybe it records it and she saw the spike after the fact.
That's probably it.
Right?
Yeah.
That it was at 4 a.m. and he was like, what is he, jogging?
See your stats. Yeah.
But she immediately jumps to this dude. She says, okay, she continues to tweet because this fucking tweet goes viral as hell. So she's got to spiral off of it and explain, right? She says, spoiler alert, he was not enrolled in an Orange Theory class at 4 a.m. And then she said, legit didn't know this would blow up like this, but the guilty party knows who they are. Crying face emoji. She said she wishes the story wasn't real. I just, like, I get motivating each other. I get holding each other accountable so that you stick to your fitness routine. I used to be a Strava guy. I used the Strava app for running. I loved the app. I highly recommend it if you're a runner. Helps you, like, plot out your fucking route and shit. Until several listeners were like, hey, man, I can basically pinpoint where you live off this thing or also just hide in the bushes and murder you.
Right.
And I had recently watched My Friend Dahmer, where he literally spends most of the Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Spends most of the movie, not most of the movie. There's he hides in the bushes and watches a dude jog for a really long time.
And then murder.
And yes, and eventually it's him plotting like his first kill. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just not that willing to be in good shape. And I deleted the Strava app, and I haven't been running since. And
you can run without the app. That is possible.
Dude, I don't know, though. Now I'm checking all the bushes for Dahmer.
We'll just say it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's impossible. I need to get a Fitbit. This is the ticket, a Fitbit.
I started the Noom app.
Noom?
Noom.
Is this another fitness thing?
Yeah, it tracks you, but it supposedly doesn't share the data. But I've only been doing it for like 2 days, and I'm already off of it because I'm drinking soda. So I fucked it up.
Why does everything... It's so funny that we can't... Like, anything we sign up for at this point, they have to be like, and we don't even share your data.
Mm-hmm.
But then they probably still do.
But if you click here, we will.
And why was it even an option in the first place? Like, we never should have had to have been worried about that. Couldn't y'all have just been not terrible? Like, obviously, we don't want you spreading our personal information all over the place. Mm-hmm. I remember at some point in the 2000s when I was signing up for shit, and I was like, why the fuck do you need to know this many things about me to get me to sign up? You know what? It might have been the 90s even. It was like the late 90s. No way. It was early 2000s. In the late 90s, I was a fucking 8-year-old. The fuck was I signing up for on the internet, Ross? The answer is BigSausagePizza.com.
Ooh, yummy.
If you were looking for what the... Don't go to that URL. Do not go to that URL in class or at your desk. It's a pornography-themed site where every porn starts with a pizza delivery and a dick in a box.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
absolutely next-level comedy, but it's porn. It's meant for sex. So don't pull that up in public. BigSausagePizza.com. Can we get some checks being cut here? Can we get a sponsor? That's the next sponsor I want you to go after, Matt, if you're listening. Big Sausage Pizza in 2020 needs to be sponsoring this show, if it even still exists. If it even still exists. Why are we talking about porn?
We're talking about apps that track you?
Question.
Yes.
What if this man's was just cranking? How does she know he was cheating?
That's a furious crank. But that's okay.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to study how much my Fitbit spikes when I crank versus when I bone.
What was the duration of the spike?
That's the good question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information she leaves out here. Like, I need to know if the dude copped to it or something, because that would just make him a moron. 4 a.m, bro, and you couldn't come up with an excuse, like you were taking like a violent shit, or like you got food poisoning and you were puking and it was picking that up.
I would go straight to the puking. Yeah.
Or even like just get real sick with it, like some shit she can't even question. Like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was having an incredibly disturbingly sexual wet dream about you.
Ooh, yeah.
What's she gonna say?
And then I puked.
And then I started puking. It was so invigorating that I had to release all these things from my body after the fact and puke it out. Right? I gotta make sure I get this chick's name right. Slater.
Jane?
Fitbit. Ginny. Please be Ginny. Jane!
Jane. Yeah, it's Jane.
Jane Slater. Yeah, so anyway, the Fitbit may be the biggest rat since Tim Allen. Just throwing people under the bus here for either... Look, it doesn't matter what he was doing. He could have been building a fucking treehouse in the backyard at 4 a.m. There's no way this chick's going to believe anything else other than that he was cheating. Because he was stupid enough to sync his Fitbit with hers. He's stupid enough to cheat. Don't sync anything with anyone for any reason ever.
No.
No more syncing.
Yeah.
Yo, you remember when they had apps? They were trying to get us to run around and bump phones.
Yes.
Just fucking bump our phones into each other and swap all of our contact info.
Yeah.
No more syncing. We probably all gave each other like all each other's passwords back when we were doing that shit, and we don't even know. But this is that's a fun, dude. It's wearable tech is presented us with so many unintentionally hilarious things, and this is one of them. And it's not the first story like this. It's just the most recent one, and it's absolutely ridiculous and hilarious.
Is there any bit of wearable tech that you could imagine that you would want and wear?
I have an Apple Watch.
Okay. But you don't wear it.
I stopped wearing it because I don't need more data or information or notifications.
And your phone's right there.
And I'm never more than like 6 inches from my phone. So I just don't need it, man. It's fun. I loved it for running. But again, I had to stop fucking running because of the Dahmers and the bushes. No
Google Glass for you?
When they get that right, I'm in. But not the versions they've pumped out so far where you look like fucking... oh, man, I can never remember this dude's name. From Star Trek, you're going to get this. Star Trek, the black dude with the...
Geordie LaForge.
Geordie, thank you. I want
Burton.
That thing. When it looks like that, I'm in.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But until then, I'm out. On the Google Glass.
Google Glass.
And at some point, we're going to get the see-through thing, right? Like where I'll put on this technology that allows me to see through your clothing.
I hope not.
It has to happen. At some point.
Like X-ray?
Yes, X-ray vision.
Like X-ray through clothing?
Now, how would that work, though? Because if you get through the clothes, how does the X-ray know to not just continue to X-ray through the rest of you?
Yeah, you're just going to see, like, people's, like, viscous fluids and things. I don't want that.
Like a cancer lump. I'm like, that's not sexy for me.
Yeah, nobody will have sex ever again.
Damn it. Now I know you're dying. This is very unfortunate. Nah, I'm out on wearable tech for the time being. RBP 248 is also brought to you by Stance Socks. Y'all see me wearing these every single day. Today is no different. Another day, another pair of Stance for me. I put them up on my Instagram story every day, though, just so y'all can see. Like, I literally have like 100 pairs of these socks. They're phenomenal. I love them. Today I'm wearing Star Wars socks in solidarity with the Mandalorian fans. Great show, by the way, on Disney Plus, which we are discussing at length on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. But Stance makes the greatest socks in the entire world. You remember when socks used to be the worst thing you could have possibly gotten for Christmas? That is no longer the case. In fact, it hasn't been for a couple years because Stance took this piece of apparel that no one cared about anymore and made it into something that nobody can shut the fuck up about. And now they're the go-to gift for people who really want to make someone happy during the holidays. I'll give you an example. The pair of socks I'm wearing right now, these Star Wars socks were one of the first pair of Stance I ever received, and they were as a present from my mother-in-law. And as a result, I got about 7 more pairs of Star Wars socks. It became like a weird tradition in my family. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan, so it was kind of weird to just keep getting Star Wars socks. I have them all now. But then it spun off into like, I got almost addicted to how comfortable these things. The Butter Blend socks that Stance makes, their Butter Blend brand, are the most comfortable socks I've ever worn. They're unbelievable, but all of their designs are awesome. They have so many incredible collaborations beyond just Star Wars, too. There's like, I mean, there's... You'll have to hit stance.com/Ross, STANCE.com/Ross, my first name, middle name, actually. Stance.com.
What's your name?
I don't even know.
Ron.
/Ross,
Your name is
ROSS, STANCE.com/ROSS. Check out all the different collabs they've got. You get a free pair of socks with purchase when you go through this URL, okay? My listeners get a free pair of socks with their next order. All you have to do is go to stance.com/Ross. That's stance.com/Ross. I cannot think of a better gift to give or get this holiday season than Stance socks. Take the guesswork out of shopping. Stance makes gifting easy, and everyone will be happy. Stance.com/Ross for all your holiday needs and free socks with purchase. Next segment. Sexual predators are now targeting Fortnite kids.
Oh, joy.
Fun. I get the Sunday edition of the Times now as a gift from my mom's. Shouts to my mom, Debbie. Thank you. And there was a story on the front cover that I was very interested in. It was this is the story. We're now going to discuss it. That I was not just interested in, but extremely alarmed by as a grown adult 32-year-old man who spends a significant amount of time playing video games online. The majority of the time, I'm playing with people much younger than me. In some cases, they are minors. Like, I played with a 17-year-old the other day, man. Like, who listens to the show and is a fan or whatever. But like, most of the time when I get to playing with people, they'll be in their 20s or in college or in some cases, post-grad up into my age, but rarely older than me. In the video game world, that's not going to happen much.
Yeah.
Often younger. So it's interesting, obviously, to me, what this whole world of video games and all that it entails for not just people that are my age, but for those that are younger and especially children as well, because it is so crazy, vast, complicated, and did not exist anywhere near to the degree it does now when I was a child. And even when I was a child, it was perilous. Now it's crazy. It turns out sexual predators and pedophiles and all of the sickest of the sick, as the New York Times puts it, have figured out that video games online like Fortnite, Minecraft, Apex Legends, Modern Warfare, all these games that I love to play, that we all love to play, the most popular games in the whole world, have become the newest hunting grounds for sexual predators.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Because it offers all of the same things in the form of anonymity that we saw as a huge issue in the earlier 2000s with chat rooms and such that spun up, like the show with Chris Hansen where he says, "Why don't you have a seat?" It's the same. Is it Chris Hansen? The Hansons, the Hansen brothers. Let's just pretend that show was hosted by the people who sang "Mbop" and go from there.
Yeah, Dateline was hosted by the Hansen brothers.
Yes, and that was that whole thing, and we have like a more fucked up version of it now because there's too many angles in. There's too many places of entry for these dudes to get with these kids, and women as well, mostly dudes, if we're being real, and it's fucked. So, according to the New York Times, they can use built-in chat features on consoles, and this is important. This is what you need to pay attention to if you don't know about this world at all, because it's not just that these kids are playing video games on all right, you're imagining like a 9-year-old playing Fortnite on PlayStation. Well, that's great. But he could be playing with a kid who's on Xbox or on PC and then using like Discord or Twitch or a third party. There's so many apps and so much going on. Every gamer who's a big-time gamer now or who's into it hard has an app called Discord, which is used as a third-party platform for gaming communities. And it's basically I don't know how to, if AOL Instant Messenger was only your gaming friends, or for those of you who are in the professional world, what's the fucking name of the, Slack.
Slack, yeah.
If Slack was just your gamer friends. It's like that, except that these kids get in these communities and they don't know the other people in them. And I'll give you the reason I know that is because we have one. We have a Discord community for RBP that I'm in every time I play, every night. And there's 200 members of the shit. And I don't know any of these dudes in real life, but I know them on the internet. And some of them and I have become friends and shit. And it's extrapolate that out to children. It's pretty easy to see how this is an issue. I'm 32, fortunately, and not looking to meet up with any dudes for sex at the moment. So it's not a problem for me.
Good.
If any of them offered, I'd just say thanks, but no thanks. Let's get another dub. But in the case of kids, this is incredibly dangerous. And to continue with the times, in many instances, the abusive relationships start in the games themselves, right? And then in other cases, adults posing as teenagers move the conversations from gaming sites and the chat rooms and the platforms like Discord over to other places like Facebook Messenger or Kik or Skype, where they can communicate more privately. Because in the game, anybody could tune in and hear that convo. In Discord even, it's a little bit less. Well, no, actually, that's a great, perfect place if you were trying to do this. It's fucked. It's we've created so many technologies that bring us closer together and allow us this ease of communication and connection. But there's so many fucking side effects that we don't consider until it's too late. And this is just another one of them. It's nuts. Okay, so again, this article from the New York Times is titled "Video Games and Online Chats Are Hunting Grounds for Sexual Predators." It's written by Nellie Bowles and Michael H. Keller. I'm going to give you a little bit of the first paragraph here just so you can get a good idea of just how good this column is, and then you can go from there and do the rest of your research on your own after I give some more commentary. When Kate's 13-year-old son took up Minecraft and Fortnite, she did not worry. That was a mistake, Kate. The video games were hardly Grand Theft Auto, banned in their home because it was too violent, and he played in a room where she could keep an eye on him. But about 6 weeks later, Kate saw something appalling pop up on the screen. A video of bestiality involving a young boy. Horrified, she scrolled through her son's account on Discord, a platform where gamers can chat while playing. Excuse me. The conversations were filled with graphic language and imagery of sexual acts posted by others, she said. Her son broke into tears when she questioned him last month. Quote, I think it's a huge weight off them for somebody to step in and say, actually, this is child abuse and you're being abused and you're a victim here, said Kate, who asked not to be identified by her full name to protect her family's privacy. So the article gets into basically how this works, what the damage that can be done through such, like, it seems so simple. And it seems like you'd be able to nip it in the bud so quickly as a parent, but it's dangerous, man. And it's a very slippery slope that if you don't catch quickly enough can be fatal in some cases. It can be. These people are sick predators out there trying to get with kids. And they have had success in starting to curb this a bit, like over the past few years. But it's just getting more and more difficult as more and more technologies are thrown into the mix. But like back in May even of this year, a California dude was sentenced to 14 years in prison for coercing an 11-year-old to do child pornography after meeting her in the online game Clash of Clans.
Isn't that like a cartoon app game?
Yes, Mike.
It's not even a like shooter or multiplayer thing, or
it is not, Mike.
Okay.
It is an iPhone app game.
It's an iPhone app game.
I'm pretty sure it's the one that like Kate Upton commercials for 4 years just plagued us on television. She was like riding a horse like Clash of Clans, and it was
right.
Like, holy shit, I wonder how much she made off that. But yeah, that was a suburban man in Seattle got a 15-year sentence in 2015 for soliciting explicit imagery from 3 boys after posing as a teenager while playing Minecraft and League of Legends. So the thing you have to realize about these people, okay, these predators, these sick, sexually disturbed human beings, there is no, like, it's almost like the more crazy the path to get to the kids, the more attractive it is to them. The more insane, like going through Minecraft or League of Legends, that would take forever. Hypothetically. I mean, I have no fucking clue, but I'm just assuming. Grooming a child through Minecraft? How many conversations did you have to have about attempting to rebuild, the Lego set from your childhood before you finally got around to, like, do you want to meet up and, like, I'll bring the lube and the porn?
Yeah.
It seems like a hell of a lot of work, and that's the point. These people are willing to put it in. So if you're not willing to put it in and protecting the kids, it's going to get bad. Really bad. Another graph, the real takeaway from this segment. The trauma can be overwhelming for the young victims. This is back to the New York Times article. An FBI study reviewing a sample of they're called sextortion cases. Sextortion. Extortion with sex. Cases found that more than a quarter of them, okay, so more than a quarter of these sextortion cases led to suicide or attempted suicide. So that's why, that's a quarter, bro. A quarter? That's insane. That's too many. It's obviously this is a very, very negative thing that can very, very negatively impact children. And in 2016, a Justice Department report identified sextortion as, quote, by far the most significantly growing threat to children.
Wow.
So
that's awful.
Yeah, the internet is a silly-ass place, and it's filled with so much humor and information and absurdity, but it's also still a very dangerous place, just like the real world. And kids these days are more connected to that world than ever before. They're younger than ever before when they're introduced to it, and it's a growing problem because the internet, as wild, westy, and fucked up as it is, it just makes it so easy for these sick fucks to get at kids. So how do you combat all this nonsense? I don't have children yet, but my plan personally for me is to make sure that I talk to my kids eventually one day daily about their online interactions, just like I talk to them daily about their real world interactions, right? And make sure that they fully understand what is appropriate and inappropriate online, just like I make sure they fully understand what's appropriate and inappropriate in real life. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom having one of those talks with me, like, because you have to frame it up in a certain way. And with my mom, it was like, if anybody ever touches you in a way that makes you uncomfortable, you have to tell me. Mm-hmm. Like those kind of conversations. Yeah. And I remember being like, I don't really get it or why anybody would ever do that, but if they do, I'll tell you. And it was simple as that. Like, she framed it up so that I knew if this ever happens, I need to be able to tell her. And she continued that in a way that really hammered it home. Like, if anything ever happens like that, obviously there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not your fault, but you have to tell me. Same thing with this. You basically just tell your kids, look, if anybody ever approaches you from the internet to try to meet in real life, You have to tell me. If anybody from the internet ever starts to talk to you in an inappropriate manner and then outline what that means, you just need to be very specific. There's no shame in preparing your children to deal with this, because here's the thing, they're going to. They're going to be in this world. Kids that were born in the past 10 years are going to deal with technology more than anybody preceding them ever has. And then that cycle seems like it's probably going to continue with the next generation and the next one until eventually we hit the robot apocalypse and the technology shit gets reset. And then we're all good. Then we just got to worry about the robots trying to fuck us, not the other humans who are...
We'll band together against the robots.
Or we band together against the robots.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it happen. We are due for a reset, a hard reset ourselves at this point, because we got humans out here using their lives, hours and hours, hundreds of hours of their lives, to entrap children while they play Minecraft and shit, which is just next level sick and sad, folks. It just is. RBP 248 is also brought to you by Indochino. Indochino was founded on the belief that you do not need to spend a fortune on a custom wardrobe if you have never owned a made-to-measure suit, okay, for you. If you've always worn generic off-the-rack trash suits like a trash human, you have no idea what you are missing out on, and Indochino is about to change your whole perspective on shit. Indochino is the world's most exciting made-to-measure menswear company that makes suits, shirts, coats, anything you need, everything you need, made to your exact measurements, though, for a great fit. I went through the process of, they actually have a showroom here in Austin, Indochino does, out at the Domain Mall, which is up north in Austin. Went over to their showroom, got fitted, went through the whole process of getting a custom dress shirt made with Indochino. And the first time you put that Indochino shirt or suit or full suit, whatever you get, that's made just for you with all the personalized details you picked out. You pick out your lapel, your lining, your own monogram. They have hundreds of suit options for all occasions, work, formal events, even your own wedding. That first time, if you've never had something tailored, dude, it's orgasmic. It is fucked how awesome wearing a suit or even just a dress shirt that's made just for you, how much better it feels. You'll never be able to go back. You will never go back. And the best part is they're affordable. Indochino, almost all their custom clothing is under $400. And the process is simple yet baller. You choose your fabric, you pick your customizations, you submit your measurements, your package will be delivered straight to your door in 2 weeks. You can get measured and design your suit at your nearest Indochino showroom if you want, or do it all online yourself at Indochino.com. And beautifully, you could do it all online, and then I believe you need to go in and get measured for your first time. If you have the ability, you should. But you definitely don't have to. You could do it all online, have your suit or your shirt or whatever sent to you. And then if you wanted to, just to be fucking certain, you can go into their showroom and they'll do, the first time is the only time you'd have to do this, by the way. The rest of the time, you would never have to go back. But the first time, go in, let them do their thing. Let them get magic with you and get it down to the fucking centimeter and the millimeter. I mean, it is just next level, and it's going to blow your mind. Start your style upgrade now with $30 off your total purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com when entering RBP at checkout, plus shipping is free. That's Indochino.com. Promo code RBP for $30 off your total purchase of $399 or more. An incredible deal for made-to-measure clothing. Indochino, Indochino.com. Code RBP at checkout. You really have no excuse anymore to wear clothing that doesn't fit. Next segment. There's always money in the banana stand.
He's a flamer.
So there's an incredible story sprung forth from Art Basel. Whatever, dude.
Basil.
That was from on Today is the version of the story that I chose to pull my information from here, okay? The art installation at Art Basel, Miami, consisting of a single banana just duct taped to a wall.
Yep, I saw this.
You saw the picture of it, and now we've all seen the picture of it because of the story. Well, that banana art installment, calling it art just upsets me, was on sale for $120,000. Just a banana duct taped to a wall, okay? And this dude, Maurizio Cattelan, I believe is his last name, he sold two of these, actually. Sold two different versions of the comedian, this banana duct taped to a wall, which if you're doing the math is $240,000 in sales in the form of 2 bananas duct taped to a wall. Beautifully, the third banana was not so fortunate. It was eaten.
I love that.
And it was eaten by a dude who, his name is David Datuna, a Georgia-born American artist from New York. So another artist, okay? He comes into art bustle, this thing where all these people take themselves so serious, so snooty. Their clothing, so nice. Their fashion, their art pieces. And then this dude, David, is just eating a $120,000 banana. Some dude born, a Georgian-born American. And he means Georgia, the country, I assume. Not Georgia, the state. Because we don't make that, we don't say like a Texas-born American.
Well, for Texas you might, but not for Georgia.
Not Georgia, though, probably.
Not for Georgia.
Not for Georgia. Unless it's the country. In which case, shouts to Georgia. Anyways, from New York. Or he's in New York now, or based in New York. I don't know. But his name's Datuna. And he posted a video of his eating this high-priced banana to Instagram and called himself, quote, the hungry artist. He praised the Catalan's banana work, though, adding lightheartedly how delicious it was, according to Today. Catherine Wisniewski, associate director of communications for the gallery, told Today Food that neither the gallery nor the artist plans to press charges against Datuna as, quote, it was all in good spirits.
Okay.
All right, so then as a PR stunt, this went really well.
That's all this was.
You make 3 bananas. You have one of your dipshit artist buddies eat one of them.
Laziest PR stunt ever.
I mean, come on. This is too obvious. This isn't. Datuna didn't. Here's where it would be a good story. If Datuna didn't know this motherfucker and just showed up and legit ate the banana.
Right.
But that's not what happened here.
Or if, like, not an artist, just like a person.
A person
came
was like,
in
you know
and said,
what?
I'm a little peckish. There's a banana. Looks pretty ripe.
And
I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been cool and funny. But it just being done to promote the whole thing, I don't know. It just weirds. This whole thing is so weird. The fact that art is in this place where you could sell a banana duct taped to a wall for 120 grand is already crazy. Like, it's impossible for normal people to understand, like non-high art people to understand that. I don't understand that. I don't know if any amount of wealth could make me drop 120K on a banana duct taped to a wall. Like, I just don't think there's a dollar amount that I get to where I'm so bored with everything in my life that I'm now at Art Basel buying a banana duct taped to a wall. I just don't, like, that's not worth it. That's so much goddamn money. And where does it go?
You could buy bananas for a whole country.
I don't even know. Yeah, dude, the banana can be replaced for 19 cents at Trader Joe's. 19 cents. Good God. By the way, the banana itself does not represent the value of Catalan's piece since it can be replaced for 70 cents or 19 cents at Trader Joe's. The value is proven by a certificate of authenticity that contains exact instructions for installation and authenticates that the work is by Catalan. This Catalan person's a fucking genius to get into this position for themselves. But
instructions. Number 1, be an asshole.
Yes.
Number 2, continue just being an asshole.
And be a wealthy asshole.
Right, a wealthy asshole. Be a wealthy asshole.
Yeah. So this is already inspiring copycat shit. Popeyes, of course. Whoever's in charge of marketing at Popeyes right now is maybe the best in the world.
They're so good, they cause fights.
Maybe the best in the world. Maybe the Michael Jordan of marketing right now.
Slam dunking it.
Doing Popeyes dirty in the best way possible. Because they did like a quick sandwich version of Comedian in a neighboring Miami gallery where they fucking duct taped a spicy chicken sandwich to the wall.
Nice.
Which I love that I might pay 120 grand for if I'm wealthy enough and I'm hungry enough and stoned enough. Like, if I show up to Art Basel High and there's a $120,000 Popeyes chicken sandwich strapped to the wall and I've got a few billion in the bank, that's happening. But only then. Not for some potassium. Not for a banana.
No.
Excuse me. Don't ever forget, kids. The most important takeaway here is that there's always money in the banana stand. And then finally, the real comedian banana for these so you're wondering, Mike, if you're one of the people. Okay, let's say copped the $120,000 comedian. Well, now what? Well, you have to replace the banana every week to 10 days with just any old banana.
Any banana.
So you physically...
And eventually you have to get new tape.
Yes.
Because that'll fuck
It'll
up too.
eventually run out of sticky.
Yeah.
And then at some point down the line, the beauty of it is that the comedian you purchased for $120,000 no longer contains any of the original artwork.
Right.
Because it's a new banana, it's a new piece of tape, it's your fucking wall. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely nuts. So that's your, that's not even an insane headline. We have an insane headline of the day that we're going to get to very momentarily. This whole show is just insane headlines at this point. Support for RBP also comes from Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Jingle balls to the walls. Fellas, listen up. Untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. If you've been using an incorrect tool with which to trim or groom your pubic region all of 2019, you are a buffoon, but you are not alone. Most guys have no idea what they're doing in this arena. It's time to gear up and get yourself the gift of shaving this holiday season. I'm talking about the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0, which includes the Lawnmower 2.0, which makes for the perfect gift this holiday season. Literally everything you need to keep trimmed, cut-free, and smelling nice down there. Do not use the same trimmer on your face as you use on your balls. That's just nasty. The Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0 also includes the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body, your balls? Speaking of sweaty and stinky balls, I am thankful for their Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, keeps your balls from sweating, smelling, and sticking. You don't want your balls sticking to anything. And these products smell good. Their manly scent is attractive and will help set the mood, if you know what I mean. The Perfect Package will also come with a pair of Manscaped boxer briefs that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code RBP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code RBP. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year. The complete manscaping system with the Lawnmower 2.0, a rechargeable waterproof trimmer with skin-safe technology for a nick-free trim. To learn more about Manscaped's revolutionary products, go to manscaped.com, RBP for 20% off your entire order. Your balls will thank you. Rest in peace, Bumblebee Tuna. Next segment, insane headline of the day. So I guess we'll have one last headline.
This is number 3.
Here.
Yeah.
Walmart pulls Christmas sweaters that mixed Santa with sex and cocaine. This is the best. So Walmart, this is not the first time this has happened, too, which is the beauty of it, because of the process Walmart has for
Yeah.
They sell, like, third-party shit on their website and stuff.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of that fucks up a lot.
Often makes mistakes, and this one was one of the best so far. So Walmart removed, this is from the Washington Post, WAPO. Walmart removed several pieces of holiday merchandise from its Canadian website after customers took offense to a line of risque Christmas clothing. You could call it that. The retail giant also issued an apology over a sweater offered by the third-party seller Funwear that featured an image of a bug-eyed Santa Claus seated in front of 3 white lines that appeared to be cocaine. The sweater's tagline, "Let it snow."
That's brilliant.
The funny thing is that we well, not we, but me formerly, frat guys in college have been making inappropriate cocaine Christmas shirts and sweaters for decades. This is a thing we do during the month of December. We somehow attempt to mix drugs and partying with Christmas and Festivus and the spirit of the holiday season.
Kwanzaa.
We always do. It's just what we do. We have holiday parties, and we make our shirts inappropriate. So that's where you'd see, I mean, we literally did a Let It Snow shirt at one point at my fraternity. Now these jokes are being made at Walmart. We just mainstreamed it. Y'all are welcome. Okay? But even if, let's say you're so fucking naive that you're looking at this Santa sweater that says Let It Snow with 3 lines of cocaine in front of him or whatever. He's looking like chopped up like Scarface here. Even if you were like, I'm so naive, I don't know what that is. Then there's the product description. Here's what it reads. We all know how snow works. It's white, powdery, and the best snow comes straight from South America. They start like subtly. They're like, they might do the wordplay thing and like they're gonna just like make some fucking, tongue-in-cheek jokes, and then they go straight from South America. That's bad news for jolly old Saint Nick, who lives far away in the North Pole. That's why Santa really likes to savor the moment when he gets his hands on some quality grade A Colombian snow.
Wow.
No subtlety there. No subtlety at all.
They just need a bruh at the end of it, like a Rick and Morty description.
Bro. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And the fucking thing is, this wasn't even the only item. There was a whole batch of these Christmas inappropriate items that Walmart was selling. One was a pantsless Santa Claus seen, quote, roasting his chestnuts, end quote, atop a burning fireplace.
Wow.
On another, captioned, Santa has been naughty, a lingerie-clad Mrs. Claus was predicted holding a whip and preparing to strike her husband's bare behind.
That one's not too bad.
That's a good one. That's good shit there. So Santa's a cocaine-addicted sex addict at this point. But, I mean...
Are these promotional materials left over from the Santa Claus movie franchise by cocaine addict Tim Allen?
It's entirely possible. By the way, those are on Disney Plus as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like, there's something about the Christmas comedy stuff. Like, Bad Santa is so funny to me. It's the funniest Christmas movie that
I love Bad Santa.
Dude, it
Fucking
is so,
yeah.
so funny. I cannot stress enough how funny Bad Santa is. If you like this show, there is almost a 99.9% chance you will laugh your dick off or vagina watching Bad Santa.
Do you know there's a sequel to that too?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Me neither. It looked bad.
I'm not going in for that, Mike. You know I stay safe here.
Yeah.
But there's something about that. It's like the wholesome spirit of Christmas and the holidays mixed with cocaine and strippers and Santa being whipped on his hairy ass by his wife. That just makes everything better.
Why not?
Does it not? What's great is this is not the only online retailer to pull seasonal products already this Christmas. Last week, Amazon halted the sale of Auschwitz-themed holiday decorations, including a Christmas tree ornament and a bottle opener described as, quote, a memorable gift perfect for every festival.
Except all of them.
Yes, except for every single festival I can think of. In fact, I can't think of a festival where an Auschwitz-themed holiday decoration is perfect. Not a one.
I don't know. Maybe if you make like a Chernobyl-type miniseries about Auschwitz and then you're having a rap party, even then.
And even then, you'd be like, I don't know if we need these fucking ornaments and shit. Like,
kids are going to ask me about these in 10 years.
Like, did we need the death chambers in ornament form? No, we didn't. We didn't need any Auschwitz ornaments at all. So the retail giant, whose founder and chief executive, Jeff Bezos, owns the Washington Post, which I love that they have to put because this is in the Washington Post.
Yeah.
And there's nothing journalists love more than blowing out their own billionaire owner.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. This is the dream. To get to write that in your story, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, and then to continue is the dream. He removed the products after an outpouring of condemnation led by the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial and Museum in Poland. Because, of course, they were upset. They have a hard stranglehold on that market, Mike. Their gift shop is the only place you're allowed to buy Auschwitz-themed ornaments and such. The Post reported other items with Holocaust-related imagery remained on the website, including a Valentine's Day keychain with an image of Berlin's Holocaust Memorial and a heart inscribed with the message, I love you.
What the fuck?
Y'all aren't very good at buying gifts for each other, it turns out. Just go with the sponsorship codes.
Yeah.
You don't need to purchase Valentine's Day Holocaust memorabilia.
All those codes are on the Patreon, I saw.
They are. They're all on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast in one list, long list. They're also always in every episode in the details, in the little description down there. The URLs and the codes for the sponsors from that particular episode, they're always there. Go down there. Don't go shopping for Holocaust-themed ornaments or anything. Just stay away from Holocaust products.
They're not for you.
They're just not. All right, last and final segment. Sam O'Hare has something to say. So if you've been listening to the show for a long time, you've heard me talk about musician and friend Sam O'Hare. This is the guy who made our intro music that you heard at the top of the show. He's the guy who made our outro music. He made all the transitionary theme songs and stuff to Wikipedia When You're High and Animal of the Week and Badass Pirates You Haven't Heard Of. And Sam O'Hare did all that for me without ever meeting me in person in real life, knowing nothing about me beyond our email, text conversations, and obviously what he's heard on the show. And you've heard our intro music at the very least since you're here. It's next level. It is very, very good. Sam is the man.
It's awesome.
He's an incredible musician. The theme songs he's put together for us are fucking hilarious, but also just incredibly well done. Like, The first time I heard the RBP theme song that played at the top of this episode, I still don't know how he made it.
Me
because
neither.
It feels like there's 12 people singing on it.
Yeah, and they all had different voices. There's like a choir. Like, what?
I don't know how he did it. At one point, I tried to get him to explain it to me, and I was just like, Sam, I can't.
It was just like robots, man. Robots.
Yeah, this is gibberish. But Sam is the man, and he's just finished the process of recording an album over a 6-year period, but is launching a Kickstarter to bring the album home with mixing and mastering and marketing and such. So he asked that I give him a minute to tell y'all about the album, and based on his contributions to the show, I demand that every single one of you listen to what the man has to say, and that those of you with the means to help back Sam and launch his music career go on to do so. Okay? So here he is, musician, artist, official bop maker of the Ross Bolen Podcast, Mr. Sam O'Hare.
What's up, everybody? Sam O'Hare here, fellow gang member and self-proclaimed official musician of the Ross Bolen Podcast. First, I just wanted to thank you all for the love you've shown for the music I've written for Ross. A lot of you have reached out with kind words, and it always means a lot, so thank you so much. Got some insane headline of the day music coming at you pretty soon, so stay tuned. And I don't want to take up too much time because I know we got to get back to animals and pirates and weed and shit, so really quick. I've just launched a Kickstarter campaign for my debut album, and it's going from December 1st until Christmas Day. The album's compiled of 10 original songs that I've produced and written myself, with the exception of a couple songs I've had a co-writer on, and I've recorded most of it myself. And it's sort of a mixture of styles drawing from pop, folk, country, rock, singer-songwriter type stuff, so think John Mayer, Amos Lee, Lucas Nelson, James Taylor, etc. And like I said, I'm finally finished recording, but I still need mixing, mastering, artwork, physical copies made, marketing, distribution, all that good stuff. And I've actually already met my initial goal, but I set it really low thinking it would be tough with the holidays and all, but I've got so many more goals I'm trying to reach, like getting some music videos out there, market this thing properly, and really just lay down a stable financial foundation to jump off from into the original music scene. Obviously, this stuff is really, really expensive, and I've been working on this album for 6 years now, and I really just want it to be the best that it can be, so I'm reaching out to all of my friends and family, and that means you, the RBP family, for help to fund the project and really my career. I've got a bunch of cool reward tiers you can choose from, like a signed album, a custom handmade Sam O'Hare beanie, your own song written just for you, your name on the album credits, and a lot more. You pick the reward and pledge the amount of money it's worth. Pretty simple. Again, I know it's a crazy time of year to be having a crowdfunding campaign, but please check out the rewards because I really feel like there's something for everyone. And if you just wanted to throw me $1 out of the goodness of your beautiful heart, or if you wanted to thank me for the music you get to hear on the pod, or as a little birthday present because your boy's birthday is on the 15th, it would really mean a lot to me. Every little bit helps, and I'd be so grateful. If you'd like to back me, I'll have the Kickstarter link on all of my social media at Sam O'Hare Music and my website, samohare.com. And on the link, you'll be able to watch a video and listen to some snippets of the song, so check that out. And please know, guys, if you're not able to support financially, no worries whatsoever. I totally understand. But if you want to spread the word, follow me at Sam O'Hare Music on social media and share the Kickstarter link. It would really, really help a lot. Thank you so much for listening. Happy holidays to you all. Let's get back to this premium content brought to you by the one and only Ross Bolen. And can we really quick give a hand up to Ross for letting me do this? What a stand-up guy, I'll tell you what. And also, this podcast has really changed my life for the better, and I know it has for a lot of other people too. So on behalf of the RBP gang, Ross, thank you so much for what you do, brother. It means a lot, and we're wishing you a lot of luck in 2020. Go after it, man. You got this. And all right, back to you, man.
That was sweet.
Very nice.
Very sweet of you at the end there. But yeah, so Kickstarter does not give a simple URL. The easiest way to find it is just to go to Sam's social pages at Sam O'Hare Music, at Sam OHARE Music, or his website, www.samohare, SAMOHARE.com. You can pledge for a reward, donate $1, whatever the fuck. Just share the link if that's all you want to do. That's all you have to do. Anything is huge to help this dude out and get his album and his musical career moving into the next phase, in the right direction.
Hell
so
yeah.
Again, campaign runs from December 1st to December 25th. Sam's birthday is also this month. If you want to support Sam, if you've been blown away by the theme music, by the by the intro and outro music he's given us for this show for 200 episodes plus now, I believe. Since back in the beginning, we had a different one, and I don't think that was Sam, but he made us the updated one. Then go now. Support the man. Mike, did you have something to say?
No, I'm just backing you up.
For some
Support
reason,
him.
I sensed you had a take. I was like, Mike, take alert going off on the right side over
well,
there.
really, just that the stuff Sam has created for you is amazing. So I'm sure his album's going to be dope.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, y'all support Sam, and I'm looking forward, Sam, to seeing the album completed and getting to hear it in full. And then eventually, when you blow up, I demand, like, you know how people get to go to the side stage of the shows?
Oh, yeah. You watch from the side behind the curtain.
Yeah, I've never gotten to be one of those people. I want to be one of those people. Those are the most important people at the show. They don't even have to pay. They're just up there. Probably high. Looks tight.
Yeah.
Get me up there, Sam. Side stage. I'll throw shit at you while you try to perform. Small things that no one else will see. Spitballs and such. It'll be fun. Do it. All right, that's it. Before you head out to take on the world, though, it's time for some very important announcements. First and foremost, I told y'all at the top of the show, if you want more RBP, there's only one place to get it, patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. We got full video of today's episode on there, so you could watch it if you wanted to. 2 additional ad-free exclusive episodes of RBP each month on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. And the last thing I'll say about it that I didn't say at the top of the show is that when you join now, if you pledge $5 right now to join the RBP gang, you're immediately going to grab that entire and have access to our entire backlog of content on Patreon. So, like, imagine if you signed up for the Apple Podcast for the first time today, and then you'd have every episode to listen to that we'd ever put out, right? Well, it's the same thing, except everything we've ever put on Patreon is not available anywhere else. So you get all of it. Everything from November, from October, August, June, July. Jaloon is a new month I just invented.
Jaloony.
Jaloon is tight. I'm using that from now. It's a combination of June and July.
I like
it. The 2 of them together.
Summer.
Yeah. We have guests each month. Mike Burns was our guest in November. I'm not sure who our guest is going to be in December yet, but we're also going to have merch coming out only on Patreon, T-shirts, hats, stickers as well in the next 10 days, next 6 days, probably more realistically. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. Support the gang, grow the movement, get that first batch of merch. That's the only place you'll be able to buy any of it, and watch all these video-sodes as well. If you would, as I always ask, even more, toward the end of this year, it becomes even more important that you fulfill your legal obligations. First and foremost, that you rate and review this show. I love if you listen on Spotify or SoundCloud or wherever, but rate and review on Apple Podcasts if you would. And then your other legal obligation is to tell one person. Share the show with one person every week, whether it's a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, any one individual that you believe would enjoy RBP, the animal talk, the serious stuff, the crazy headlines, the current events that we rip on, all this fun shit that we talked about today. If you think that you have a friend or a family member or a coworker or a neighbor in mind that would enjoy this shit, share it with them. You have to. You're legally obligated. And then when you do that, you can check that box. I can call off the dogs. We don't have to see each other in court, and it'll be great. Oh, I should note, by the way, we finally launched the fucking hotline just for the dues-paying members on Patreon. So we finally got the hotline for y'all that's from now on, henceforth, the hotline call extravaganza. Right? If you've always been like, damn, I wish my calls would get played. Damn, there's too many. 888-WR Bowling gets 1,000 fucking calls a day. Well, there's a new hotline number that only 1,000 people, period, have access to on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. It makes it much, much easier to get your call played on the hotline call extravaganza each month. I'm just saying, it's there now. It's real. Follow us on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. We're also on Facebook if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners, and you can follow me, Ross Bolen, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at WRBOLEN, at WR Bolen. Mike, where can we follow you on social medias and hear more from Permanent Records? Great shows.
I'm on Twitter at Mike Moody, MikeMoody. Hey, I spelled it. And Permanent Record, permanentrcrd.com.
You're like AJ now.
Yeah.
You spelled it.
Oh my.
Also, listen to Bolen Media's television and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, available wherever RBP is available. We covered The Irishman this week, the 17-hour-long Martin Scorsese film. Just picked my nose. If you're watching on video, you got to see that. I can't help it sometimes. It itches. I've got to go. The fucking camera's there. It is what it is, but... The Irishman was phenomenal. We're also discussing Watchmen, as well as His Dark Materials. Other shows we discussed recently include like Peaky Blinders and shit. We discuss everything. Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, available wherever RBP is available, where Barrett Dudley and I talk television and film each and every week. that will do it for RBP 248, recorded and produced by Mike Moody and Grant Davis at Permanent Record Studios in Austin, Texas. We will be back a little bit later this week for episode 249. Okay? Stay tuned. RBP 249 coming soon. Podman gets paid. Respect Mr. Park. Strength and honor. Gang, gang, gang. Peace be with you.